This one right here is packed with action, resistance, and violence. So let me just say this up front. The algorithm probably ain't gonna push this one, so I'm gonna need y'all to share it. Now, let me tell y'all about one of the most violent, most covered up, and most powerful uprising in U.S. history. And yes, it happened right outside of New Orleans. So let's set the scene. It's 1811, and we're in Louisiana, along the Mississippi River, in an area that they used to call the German Coast. Today, we call it the river parishes. That's St. John, St. James, and St. Charles Parish. And what were they growing out there? Yep, sugar. Now, sugar wasn't just sweet, it was deadly. Enslaved people in sugar plantations were worked to death, literally. Their life expectancy was just a few years. It was hot, dangerous, and violent. You couldn't survive long out there. So imagine how bad it had to be for somebody to say, I'd rather risk death than to live like this. And that somebody was Charles Desline. He was an enslaved man from Saint-Domingue, which is modern-day Haiti, and many believed he was inspired by the Haitian Revolution, the same one where black folks overthrew the French and won. You see, Desline worked on the Andrew plantation, but while the owners thought he was loyal, he was really just plotting. On January 8, 1811, he went with his move. He and a small group killed the plantation owner's son, armed themselves with axes and a few stolen guns, and set the plantation on fire. Then they started marching toward New Orleans, and it wasn't just a few people. As they went from plantation to plantation, more and more enslaved folks joined in. By the time it was in full swing, there were over 500 black people marching in formation. They were burning plantations, beating drums, wearing makeshift uniforms, and moving like an army. Yes, an actual army. Their goal was to take New Orleans and slavery and upset the setup. Now, when plantation owners and government officials got wind of what was going on, they panicked. This wasn't an escape attempt. This was a full-blown rebellion. So they acted fast. Within 2 days, militias, plantation owners, U.S. Army troops, and territorial officials all came together. They ambushed the rebels near what's now called Kenner. Many were killed in battle, some tried to run, others were caught and dragged back to plantations for punishment. But y'all, this is where it gets dark. They didn't just kill the rebels, they beheaded them. And then they took those heads and put them on spikes, lining the Mississippi River levee from the plantations all the way to New Orleans. Just imagine riding along the river and seeing the heads of black men and women mounted on poles, rotting in the heat for miles. They wanted everybody to see it. This was a message. Don't you ever try this again. It was pure psychological warfare. You see, the government thought they were shutting it down, and on the surface, it did look like a failed rebellion. Yes, about 95 were killed, but some people made it. Historical records show that a number of the rebels were never found. That means they likely escaped, maybe into maroon colonies in the swamps or into other cities, or even mixed in with free black communities. So no, it wasn't a total defeat. Some people got free. And then the rebellion lived on. Even though the system tried to erase it, the memory survived. In whispered stories, in spirituals, in coded messages passed down, this revolt became part of the black tradition of resistance that inspired the Creole Revolt, Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Harriet Tubman, and even the Black Panther Party. It reminded people, even if we lose this time, we keep fighting. This uprising shook the South. 500 black folks moving like a military unit. That had never happened before. It showed that enslaved people weren't just angry, they were organized. It scared white folks so bad that they tightened slave laws, increased patrols, and doubled down on control, because now they knew they're not just dreaming about freedom, they're planning it. Well, let's be honest. If the rebellion wasn't a real threat, they wouldn't have gone that hard. You don't line a river with heads unless you're scared. And make no mistake, they were terrified. The system was never as strong as it looked, and this uprising exposed its cracks. And most importantly, this was just one battle. And like with any war, you're not going to win every fight. But that doesn't mean it wasn't worth it. This was a blueprint, a wake-up call, proof that enslaved people were not broken. They were strategizing, risking it all, and sending a message for generations to come. So no, this wasn't just a failed attempt. This was a spark. It scared the South, it proved our power, and it lit a fire that never died. If this story moved you, don't let it get buried. Share it, talk about it, keep it alive, because they tried to erase this story, and we're not going to let that happen. Remember to subscribe for more stories that they don't put in your textbook.